Now, in normal times, I probably spend more time with my next guests than I do with my own family, to be quite honest with you. Most of you know who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my band. My little brother, Jodie, my bass player, Tom Swan, and my guitarist, Martin Kennedy. You there, boys? Oh, you're there. Unmute yourselves.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, boys. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
Oh, I miss you. I miss you, boys.
Oh, missing being on the road.
Yeah.
You'll probably be asleep though, Jode, so it's fine.
Missing the money.
Dave, yeah, that's Dave. That's his interjection there. The classic Dave line. Yeah, I should probably explain what Martin was talking about there. I wish I had the pictures to back it up, which we do actually.
We've all got pictures, yeah.
We've all got pictures, but we don't have them at hand.
Thank goodness you weren't prepared. Let's put it that way.
Jodie
Yeah.
Jodie's renowned in all of. Yeah, let's bring Dave on as well because he's always with us anyway. So he's Jodie is renowned in all of the bands that he works with that he's able to fall asleep in any situation and on on a plank of wood, whatever. And he's always this is Jodie's basically his look for most of the time.
I thought you were going to bring a picture up then. I was like, you haven't.
I wish we had. If I had a little extra time, I would have brought that up for sure.
I'm not coming on next time then.
We'll have a picture of you sleeping. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Well, Joe, I'm actually surprised you're still talking to us anyway after the debacle of. We made this video, guys, and it was tougher for Jodie than it was for anyone else. And
yeah.
we actually do have a picture of Jodie after we made the video, which Chrissy will bring up in a minute. But
Yeah.
oh, you don't have. Oh, bugger. All right. Well, so listen, boys. I wanted to ask each of you, separately, this same question. So tell me. Well, who wants to go first? Martin. Let's go, Martin.
Okay.
What's your favourite story? Because Martin's been with us, what is it, a year and a half, maybe now?
2 years. Yeah.
2 years now. Sorry, God, time.
It was a lot longer, but yeah. It's okay.
But, yeah, I want a favourite story of being on the road with us as a band.
Well, it's a family show, so I have to edit it down. But I think the one. So last January 2019, so we were driving to Minehead. There was some discussion in the van there about we found out we're playing in the Pavilion and in Minehead, and it was going to be a small stage. There was no dressing room. The logistics of how this is going to work, and we arrived there, walked up the back stairs, walked through, and there's all these extra built rooms. Carried on through, and we walk out onto stage, and the stage is bigger than an aircraft hangar. There's a giant video screen, lighted stairs, and it turns out it's Boyzone, the start of their arena tour. And we're there on their arena stage, and it was great. And it was really good. So it was going from expecting it to be slightly less than ideal to being this amazing stage. And of course, looking around onto a 40-foot screen and seeing Jodie, age 19, playing drums is always a win for me. So
yeah, that was fantastic, wasn't it? It was a great gig. Yeah, and it was
awesome gig.
Yeah, any guys that haven't been to Butlins, you should probably try it because it can be really fun. Thank you for that one, Martin. And let's go, Tom. Go on, mate. You're on.
Okay. Well, I've got a few stories, but there's quite a lot of us like nearly not making gigs, drummers nearly not making it from airports, tons of stuff like that. But I think that my favourite story, I wasn't actually on the gig. I think it was Stewie playing bass. But I think you're giving Carlos a lift back from Butlins to Brighton. And as the car was driving along, everyone was like, I can hear the road really loud. Can anyone else hear that? And then all of a sudden, someone turned around and the boot was wide open and had been for the entire car journey. And everyone got out and was like checking their gear. Yeah, got a snare drum, got cymbals, everything's fine. And Carlos is like, no. The guitar amp isn't here. And then like all of a sudden everyone got in the car, turned back around, and from what I heard he drove 15 minutes back towards Butlins.
Yeah.
And there was a man just stood there with a dog and a guitar amp on the side of the road, just being like, Oh, I knew you'd come back. I saw it fly out the back of the boot.
Oh my God, I'd forgotten about that, Tom.
That's a
And,
good
and
one.
it was a little bit scratched up, but it was still working. Amazing.
And it was borrowed from the studio that we were recording at the
It
time.
wasn't even Carlos Camp. Oh my goodness.
The thing I remember about that was that we sent Chesney because he was driving, so he was the easiest one, and we said, look, make sure everything's in the car, Ches, just make sure. So he went round and had a quick look. He shut the boot, guy says, everything's there, it's all right, boys. It's fine. Carlos went, hold on a minute, let me just go and check because I know my amp was at the back there and it had gone. So it was
Details.
lucky we checked.
Details.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, go on, give us your story.
Okay, so I think this one was a long time ago when we were doing the tour. So not many people know about this, but when we got to the end of the tour, we did this we started doing practical jokes on each other. And by the time we got to the end of the tour, I knew it was coming because I got out on stage and it was a big arena tour, loads of people. It was at the height of the madness, you know. And I got onto my drums and there's pictures of naked men on all of my drum toms, right? So first of all, so that's all I've seen. You know, I know this is a family thing, but you know. So at that point, I knew that the gig was going to be interesting, and we carried on playing. At the end of at one point, we had a solo each, and I started doing my solo. I'm like this, going on mad, and then each one of the bands started coming up and just taking part of my drum kit like this, just taking it off the stage until literally I was just left with my snare like that. So I think I jumped off at that point and got onto the other band's drum kit, didn't I, at that point?
Yeah, if I remember, there was the same gig that you guys, I was playing the piano. We used to travel.
That's what I was just about to say.
Go on.
Because obviously Chesney was the instigator to this, so we got our revenge in that, you know, at the end of the show, he does a really nice piano, like on his own, you know, like the Secrets of the Heart thing, you know, all heartfelt. But we had a big grand piano on stage. But what he didn't realise is that we rigged up a rope to the piano. So he's playing it, and we're slowly pulling it. So he has to keep shuffling up. This is in front of thousands of people, you know. Oh, it was great fun. So yeah.
Oh, the craziness of youth. Hey, we did have a good time. And actually, I got one story. I know we were going over here, but we turned up to a festival it was actually last year or a couple of years ago maybe. We turned up to a festival where we were playing. We're getting the gear out the van, you know. We've got guitar amps, you know what's coming, boys. We've got guitar amps coming out, and the boys are all like, all right, let's see. And this is the other thing, we were late, and it's a festival gig, and we were literally on in 20 minutes. Okay, so it was like a quick turnaround, and Jodie forgot to put his drum kit in. So we had no drums.
First time in 30 years I turned up to the gig with no drums.
And it turned out with the festival where there was no other drummers and no other actual bands. It was all kind of, you know, DJs and stuff. So the promoter, bless him, knew a drummer in the town. I can't remember where it was now, but literally within 15 minutes we had a drum kit. I gave the guy 50 quid. We got a drum kit on stage. No sound check. Bob's your uncle. Off we go.
More expensive than Jodie's kit.
Hey.
And he announced to the entire crowd that Chesney is here. His drummer's got no kit. Hooray!
I miss you guys. Thank you for, you know, it's not just being on stage with you. It's the camaraderie of being on the road, in the van, all the stuff the wives don't know about. You know, what happens on the road stays on the road. Right, boys? Oh, shit. I forgot the girls are on here, aren't they?
I have no idea what you're talking about. My wife is here.
Hi, girls. Love you. Anyway, thank you, guys. Thanks for being on the show.